Hello, welcome to another video. Today is something kind of special. You may have seen from the title of the video that I just hit 100 subscribers, and I wanted to do something to commemorate it, something special. So instead of doing a time lapse, I figured I'd go ahead and kind of show you guys behind the scenes of how I actually do the artwork that you see on this channel and on my DeviantArts, the Fur Affinities, and all of that stuff. Basically, I like to tell people that anybody can be an artist, and it's true. Anyone can do any kind of artwork as long as you put in the time, put the work in, have a little bit of confidence, and in my case, you have this sort of guide and lines all figured out beforehand. Not by me. This is the secret of Orange. She actually came from somewhere else, and I just kind of adapted her from all of these dot to dot sort of drawings. So I wanted to go ahead and kind of show that off here. So when I first started here, I ended up doing what you would think you'd have to do. I'd go ahead and put the line in here, put another one in, and it just got like really tedious, because it's very tedious. So what I instead started doing, let's just go ahead and go back to where we don't have any lines here. Okay. So what I've started doing instead is just kind of going straight ahead and putting all the lines in, very messy. So we'll see here, let me just make my brush a little bigger just because I want to put a lot of lines in here. Yeah, so I just kind of go in, and I still try to follow the number order. I don't want to mess anything up, so I still go in order, but I want to make sure that all of the lines are going in right where they're supposed to. And these numbers definitely help. The dots tell me exactly where the lines are going to go, and it just works very, very well. So now it wants me to go up this way. And I think this is supposed to be where her hair starts, like the bottom of her hair here. Yeah, something like this. Keeps going up here. All right, we're looking pretty good here. I'm gonna go around these hair spikes, and then we go up around top of her top knot kind of thing. Put in all of that detail there. And then I think we need to go down her shirt and her other arm, like the inside of her arms here. Yeah, down to her hands and everything. Yeah, so we'll just let's go ahead and put the rest of this stuff in. Doesn't really need to be perfect because we're gonna fix things up if we need to. Okay. And that's about it. So just to make sure I don't miss anything, I like to make my brush really big and just scribble over the whole drawing just to make sure I didn't miss anything. And there we go. So at this point, we don't really need these the dots and everything. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn that stuff off. And what we're left with, as you can see, is a pretty good looking outline. Now her eyes and everything still need to get put in. I could probably leave those there, but I think I'm gonna do those on my own. One of the things that a lot of people like to talk about my artwork is how I do my eyes, and that's actually because I do my eyes on my own. Like, I don't always use the dot to dot system to do the lines, but let's just move on here. So we're going to start doing the flats. So I like to start off with flat colors, and since she's orange, I tend to stick to a nice orange color for her. And at first I used to really go for each individual color. So get something for her skin tone, put that in, and go in for like her hair. Let's see, it's kind of she actually has red hair technically, even though it always looks gray. Then I just kind of put that color in, and I used to do it that way because you know, each thing is supposed to be different color, but again, it just gets tedious and it takes too long. So I just take a nice sort of neutral orange color for orange, and then I just kind of put it all in at the same time. Because, I mean, yeah. It's just way faster to do it this way. So let's go ahead and get all of her flat colors in. We're going to be getting rid of some things here, but that's okay because we can always put it back in. The one thing you always want to remember is no matter what, you can always put detail back in. You don't have to be afraid of getting rid of something or accidentally coloring over something, or getting, even if you're getting outside of your lines, you know, as an artist, you want to make sure you're always playing around and, you know, letting yourself be free to experiment. So there we go. So all of our flats are in. And you know, this type of skill and detail will come with practice. You know, you can't just get it overnight. You have to put in like 100 drawings or something like that in order to get to a point like that. So now I'm going to start putting in her shadows. Now, this is actually an older picture I've done. I'm just kind of redoing it for you guys here to show you how I do things. In the original one, I wanted her sitting in the void, which is essentially the setting of the short comic series that I used to have her in, which actually is coming back. I'll probably put a link to the latest ones in the description down below. But the void is basically, if you've ever seen Dragon Ball Z or something, the hyperbolic time chamber, but it's essentially just a big white empty space where you know, you can be creative and make anything or whatever. And so I wanted her to sit in that. So I know that the void is, it's got light everywhere basically. So when I usually light people in the void, they have the light mainly coming from above, but it's lighting them all over the place. So we're just gonna go ahead and start shading in under her, you know, like her under her legs, you know, in the feet area here. You know, we definitely want under her chin. You know, so we're just gonna start putting in this shading here. And actually, while we're at it, we can go ahead and start adding a lot more detail. Again, this is just my technique of just putting everything in all at once just to save time. So let's just get in there. There's our fingers here. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get it all of it in there. There we go. So we have our necklace back. Hair. Put that back in. And let's go ahead and just put the rest of her face back in because it's getting a little bit a little bit ridiculous looking just having her not have a face anymore. So that's it. We'll just put in the rest here. And again, we'll just scribble over the whole thing just to make sure it's perfect, or as perfect as we can get. That's the other thing you want to remember. You don't want to spend forever on something. Eventually, it's going to have to be finished. So never strive for perfection. Just strive for what you think looks incredible. Because if it looks incredible to you, it's going to look incredible to many other people. And if you think that what you're working on doesn't look very good, just remember to look back at work that you've done maybe a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, and ask yourself why you thought that that work was very good when you can do so much better now. And remember that in about a year, you'll look at this new perfect artwork and realize that you're way better than you were back then. So you're always going to be improving. And this is just, like I said, just techniques of me, you know, making things better and getting better with every single drawing I do. So let's move on. We're just about done here. So right now, you know, her nails are all just white. The necklace here is white. Her eyes are white. Everything's just not quite there. And we still need to highlight her. So with the void and how it's lit, I always light her from the top because, again, it's there's light everywhere. So we can just go ahead and start putting in small little like highlight lines in her hair. We don't want it to get too crazy. We just want it to be like, hey, there's light going on, you know, because we don't want it to be like blooming or anything like that. And then over her face here, it's just gonna kind of shine over her cheeks and on her forehead. We'll just go ahead and put an eye in there as well. Get some on her nose, her lips, get a little bit of shine there. Other cheek, let's put the other eye in. Okay, let's just kind of get the rest of that in there. Good. Let's see here. Got a fly in my room now. Let's get her shoulder. A little bit on the collarbones. Good, good, good. Let's go down the arms. Just get those in there. And let's see. The necklace is supposed to be blue. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that's good. Get the rest of the top of the legs here. Now I tend to have her complemented with purple, not just because it's a a perfect complement color to orange, but it also has like good friendship values for her specifically, I guess. So I tend to just add a little bit of purple there. All right, so we're just about done. Now remember I said that she's being lit from everywhere technically. That means that this light is being bounced back up from the floor, so you always want to make sure that you're kind of hinting at that. So under her legs here, we're kind of putting like kind of an off bluish white, just to show that there's a little bit of light bouncing back to her. And a little bit on her hair here, a little more. Okay, so I think that's just about it. So that's how I did that old picture. And again, I'll put a link down to the finished image in the towel section, doobly-doo comment section down there. But if you want to see more things like this, just go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because it may be sort of slow sometimes, but I try to get videos out like this one, or like the time lapses at least, as much as I possibly can. And from time to time I do an actual tutorial on how you can do some work just like this or similar. And I think that's about it. Thank you for subscribing, the people here who have subscribed already. I hope that I was able to keep you entertained so far, and I hope that I can keep you entertained in the future. And everybody who's new, welcome, and I hope I can keep you entertained in the future. But until next time, keep drawing stuff.